Welcome back. We're on problem number 6. Problem number 6 on page 670. If the average of 6, 6, 12, 16, and x, the average is equal to x, what is the value of x? So if I were to average all of these numbers, I get x. So how do I average? I add them up. I add up the numbers. And I divide by the number of numbers there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So I divide by that. And they're saying that this average is going to equal x. So let's multiply both sides by 5. And I get 6 plus 6 plus 12 plus 16 plus x is equal to 20. Oh, what? Sorry. My brain is malfunctioning. The average is equal to x, right? So I have to multiply both sides by 5. And so I was going to get multiplied by, anyway. So I multiply both sides by 5. I get 5x, right? This is the average. And they say the average is equal to x. Multiply both sides by 5. You get rid of the 5 in the denominator here. And you get 5x on the right-hand side. Now what's this sum? 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 plus 16 is 40. So we get 40 plus x is equal to 5x. Subtract x from both sides. 40 is equal to 4x. Divide both sides by 4. You get x is equal to 10. And that is choice D. Next problem. Let me draw this. Let's see. The triangle. Let me try my best to draw the triangle. Looks something like that. And then there's an altitude right here. Just drop straight down. And then they tell us that this is a 90. Or do they tell us? My cousin who used my book drew over it, so I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure they tell us that this is a 90-degree angle. So the figure above, what is the value of z? So they say this is z, this is y, this is 2y, and this is 40 degrees. So what is z? So we know that this is a 90-degree angle, and we know that z plus y plus 90 is equal to 180. So if we know what y is, we can figure out z. And how can we figure out y? Well, we know that 2y, if we look at this right-hand triangle, we know that 2y plus 40 plus 90 is equal to 180. Right? So 2y plus 130 is equal to 180. 2y is equal to 50 degrees. Y is equal to 25 degrees. So this is 25 degrees. I really wish I could read this problem. I'm pretty sure they drew in a little perpendicular thing. But anyway, we might have been able to address it even if they didn't. But if y is 25, then we know that z plus 25 plus 90 is equal to 180. Z plus 115 is equal to 180. Z is equal to, subtract 115 from both sides. What's 80 minus 15? It's 65. And the choice is C. Next problem. Problem number 8. Problem number 8. A computer program randomly selects a positive 2-digit integer. If the integer selected is odd, twice that integer is printed. So odd, it prints 2 times integer. If the integer is even, the integer itself is printed. So integer, if it's even, it just prints the integer. So if it's an odd and you multiply by 2, it's actually going to print an even integer no matter what. If the integer printed is 26, which of the following could have been the integer selected? So all we see is 26. We just see 26. So the 26 could have been generated one of 2 ways. It could have been generated by an even number that was just kept the same. Well, if it was an even number that was kept the same and you got 26, then we know that the number is 26. The number that generated was 26. The other possibility is it could have been an odd number that was doubled, right? If it was an odd number that was doubled, so that means 2 times the odd number, 2 times the odd number is equal to 26. So that means that the number would have to be 13, right? 13 times odd is, 2 times odd, these are the two situations. 2 times odd is going to be equal to 26, in which case odd is equal to 13. Or 1 times even is going to be equal to 26, in which case even equals 26. So the number generated could have been 26, or it could have been 13. And those are choices 1 and 2, and that's C. Next problem. Problem number 9. Problem 9. They give you choice 52 in that last problem just to confuse you, to actually end up doubling the 26. But we know that the odd number was doubled to get 26, so the number generated would have been 13. Problem number 9. How many seconds are there in m minutes and s seconds? M minutes and s seconds. M minutes and s seconds. Well, how many seconds are there per minute? We can write this as, let's write this expression as m minutes plus s seconds, right? Well, what does m equal in terms of seconds, or how many seconds are there per minute? Well, we know that there are 60 seconds per m, right? Or we could say that 60 seconds is equal to 1m, right? So if there's 60 seconds in 1m, actually I'm confusing the issue. Let me write it this way. M minutes, right? There's m minutes. How many seconds are there per minute? So there are, let me start over because I think I confused you a little bit. So I'm going to write, actually let me write it without m and s. That's what's confusing me as well. Let's say I have x minutes and plus y seconds. Plus y seconds. And I want to convert it all into seconds. Well, we know that there are 60 seconds per minute, right? So if we want to convert a minute to seconds, we write x minutes times 60 seconds per minute plus y seconds. And so the minutes will cancel out. And so you're left with 60 times x. And this is something that you'll learn in physics class, is that you can treat units just like you would treat variables. And they'll cancel out similarly. So you'd get 60x, right? The minutes have canceled out. Let me switch colors. You'll get 60 times x seconds plus y seconds. So your total number of seconds is 60x plus y. And in the problem, though, in minutes they didn't say x, they said m. So x is m, and then y is s. Y is s. So 60m plus s. So that's choice A. And this might have been a little confusing. Let me do it a simpler way, or maybe a more intuitive way for you. If there's m minutes, how many seconds are in m minutes? How many seconds in m minutes? Think about it. If I'm talking about 2 minutes, there's 60 seconds per minute. So if I said 2 minutes, I would multiply 2 times 60, and I would get to 120 seconds. If it was 5 minutes, I would multiply 5 times 60 and get to 300 seconds. So if I have m minutes, I'll multiply 60 times m to get 60m seconds. 60m seconds. And of course, they said m minutes plus s seconds. So now I have 60m seconds plus these s seconds. So my total number of seconds is 60m plus s. This is a more intuitive way, maybe. You should always try out numbers, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. The way I did it previously is how you would do it in physics class, where you would actually cancel out the units and make sure you're doing it the right way. See you in the next video.